Good morning, one and all. It is Sunday, and it is the 20th of June. Welcome to the show. We're going to got loads to do today, loads to show you, a couple of tips and tricks, and obviously we'll move on with our rumble in the jungle. And I'm just looking at it thinking, oh, a little bit of misspray booth there, sorry. Yeah, so loads going on. Let's use in the chat to start with. 10 people there. Make sure you say hello. Obviously me saying hello. Are you ready? Ross is first in, saying good morning all. Morning, Ross. The great Don Pedro is there saying hi all. We've got Model Making Tracker saying good morning, everyone. David's there saying morning all. I hope you're well. I'm well, and I hope everyone else is as well. Mark H0151 says good morning all on the parade. Hope you're well indeed. And the Johnny Burton, the great Johnny Burton, is with us as well, one of the admins of the Model Officers Mess Facebook group. I'm sure there'll be some more messages and hellos in a moment. Oh, Dad's just popped in there straight away saying good morning all. 12 people watching. We've got Wafu Dave. He's also saying good morning. Good morning. Yeah, keep your comments coming in and let me know what you're up to today, what your plans are, what's on the bench and all that sort of stuff. And unfortunately, I'm going to get myself comfortable. Sorry. Oh, it's a problem with having a fat ass. Anyway, Sprue and Glue is there saying good morning to myself and the chat. So good morning. Thank you for being with me. What we're going to do is I'm going to head over in a minute or two and we're going to have a look at everybody else's work. We're going to do that straight off the bat. Purely because, like I say, with what we've got going with the Rumble today, we've got a lot going on. So I want to try and squeeze everything I can in I've done quite a bit of prep, so some of it will be, you can watch how I get the effect of what I'm hoping to get, and some of it will be, this is what I've done, and I'll explain how I've done it. So that explains that. So without further ado, because I'm not ready in any way, shape or form, I've literally just run off another stream. So here we go. We're going to go straight over to the Model Officer's Mess and have a look at your work. Before I do that, just double check the chat. Yeah, it's right. You chat between yourselves. 11 people watching. Make sure you say hello, etc., etc. So Saturday's post went up, and this is what you guys have been up to this week. In some respects, I'm going to change the post format at some stage to make it a little bit more user friendly, shall we say, for this particular show. So I don't want people to miss out while we highlight their work. So anyway, first off the bat, we have, oh my God, we've got John Ludgreen. Haven't had time to push on with the JU88. Still doing decals and last bits and pieces. Oh, wow. Look at that. Hat off to you, John. That is phenomenal. In fact, I'm actually going to take the time and trouble to say I love it. It's a camo in which I really wouldn't want to do, but I should imagine it's great fun. So well done, John. Next up is Dave Skelly. This is finishing touches to the artillery driver diorama that he's been making, as you can see. And it's a lovely little piece, really beautiful. And I believe I'm right in saying this is 1/35th, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I think it's 1/35th. But yeah, beautiful work. Really, really great attention to detail. Scratch building and bits and pieces going on here on the pouches. So yeah, loads going on there. Really beautiful. And loving the bush at the back there as well. Dan Cook's in. He's got bogies today, apparently. Yeah, I was speaking to Dan the other day, and he's struggling with mojo a little bit, doing a lot of building, but not getting to the painting stage. So I'm really hoping that we see some painting going on. I need to get you back at the bench, Dan. And I did remember just now that I forgot to put a love on that, because I really love that too. So over to Bass for the Plastic Posses podcast group build. Yes, indeed. If you weren't aware, there is a lovely podcast, among others, one that's called Plastic Posse. And they've got a group build on at the moment, which is the Edward or Tamiya Mark 1 Spitfire. So there is no choices other than those two makes, but they've got some great builds, and it'd be great to see how you get on with this. I'm not quite sure which one your Bass is doing. I think it's the Tamiya one, but I can't remember. So forgive me if I got that wrong. But yeah, cracking on now. Simon Gillard. Painting the brickwork of my station, a train station platform. Yeah, I've been watching this. It is really, really cool. That is a brilliant effect. Well done. Loving the different tones of brick color there. It's so important to do that, and it's such an easy thing to do, an easy thing to forget too. But yeah, loving that. That's looking good. Who we got up next? Oh, Don. If you haven't had a dribble over this before, this is Don's work, current work, and he's knocking another one out of the park again. And some lovely detail work in the pictures to come. I forget what this was. I know it's 1/35th, and it's a German tank of some description, I believe, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, just as I was saying only moments ago, what a beautiful, beautiful work this is. And if Don's in the chat, please, Don, put your Facebook group up, because he's got a page in which you can follow his work. And this is the Trumpeter 1/35th. Sturmine, I think I pronounced that badly, but never mind. What would you expect? So yeah, beautiful work as usual, Don. Really beautiful work. A few more pictures from Donna as well. I'm just going to look at these pictures in silence because there are no words really. It's just cracking work. Just his attention to detail is really, really good. And Don's a great person, always willing to share any tips and tricks. So if you've got any questions of how he's got some of the effects on his builds, head over to his Facebook page. And hopefully, like I say, Don will be watching, so Don can put that in the chat. Go over and like and join in, look at his work. You'll have to keep up to date with it because he does go through his work pretty quick. Great appetite for cracking on with it. Excuse me while I finish my coffee. Just awesome. Awesomeness. And the last one from Don is the front. Looking absolutely amazing, honestly. Forgive me if you can hear the compressor in the background. That's on for a little bit later on. So, yeah. So next up is Rob. This is his US Special Forces with crew in progress. Looking really, really good. I am loving that. Absolutely loving that. Stuart Tucker, sorry, I don't know who John Tucker is. Stuart Tucker saying congrats on the 1,000 plus subs. Yep. We've gone over the benchmark, and it's a great thing. Brought some tears to my eyes and all that sort of stuff, as you can imagine. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. We got Mark at Edinburgh Modelling Man Cave saying good morning all. We've also got Brian Windmill saying good morning, guys. And a little bit of chatting between yourselves, so that's good. Yes, so thanks, Rob. That looks absolutely spanking, as always. Let's see what else we've got in our gallery today. Simon Jones, wow. Okay, Simon Jones is a good modeler. Don't see him much around, but he's obviously back at the bench, which is great to see. He's finished applying the wash to the wheels on the T3385. Next job, we'll do some chipping. Excellent work. Great to see you at the bench as well. Must find some time to hang out because we haven't done so for ages. Anyway, this is a little bit of a look at what I've been doing. So we'll have a close look in a minute, but this is the stowage for the build that we're doing right now for Nelly. And I managed to get some of that done yesterday. This is not finished progress. It's just progress shots. So it gives you an appetite of what's to come. Had a great day at the bench yesterday, hanging out with a few people. And got a lovely amount of model making done that I haven't done for ages. So good mojo boost that was. Johnny Burton is up next. This is his 172nd Defiant, Squadron 151 from RF Wittering. Lovely job. Well done, Johnny. Nice to see you getting some time at the bench as well. Ian's up next with that. I guess that's a Sherman of some description. But yeah, look at that. Lots of stuff going on there. I'd love to know what all this netting is. How did you make that, Ian? Let us know. Little tips and bits and pieces like that. You know, when you post your pictures up, keep us abreast of what you're doing and how you're doing it. Because that certainly looks pretty cool, actually. There you go. It's another picture of Ian. Ross is just saying he's added a couple of pictures, so I might have to refresh to catch those, Ross, but I'll keep an eye out. Thanks for letting me know. Great work, Ian. Really looking good. Is that an easy 8? Let me know in the chat if you know what the tank that is, because I am not brilliant in that respect. Oh, look at that. It's got some stowage on there as well. Excuse me. Lovely. Looking really good. Throwing the bells and whistles at that, Ian. Love that. John Ludgreen. It's finished. Oh, man, that is gorgeous. I'm rushing through these. I do apologise. I've missed the loves and hearts and stuff, so I will go back through it at some point. But how can you not admire that? That's just brilliant. I want to ask a question, though, John. Is that decal, that camo, or have you done that by hand? I so want you to tell me it's decal. Beautiful job, though. Really looks absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. That's got to be a decal, right? It's just too perfect. Oh, a nice little background there, displaying it. That's nice. Running through the air at speed. Lovely. Thanks for sharing that. Next up is Scott. This is the radiator fan surrounding for his Ducati. Wow. Wow. Oh, do you know, I love this bit where you just look through everybody's work, dribble over it. Talking about dribbling over it, oh my god. Gustav has done his 172nd M8 Groundhog. Finally ready for some pin wash and chip in. Do you know, if you hadn't told me that was 172nd, I wouldn't have guessed that. That is outstanding. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Gustav. Next up is Brad. Getting ready to break my fast. Yes, you've been a little bit away for a while. Looking forward to you getting back into it. Nice and clean desk. Nice cutting mat as well. Next up is Harry. First time doing individual link tracks. Still have the other side to do, along with weathering and outer surface before track guards are attached. But you are doing a cracking job there. Really looking good. Loving that, Harry. Well done. Ray Davis. Not much work today, but managed to place the rubber peel into position so that it looks as if the rubber wheel calls the plane to turn right. Oh my god, Ray. That's just amazing. Very cool. Dieter's up next with this. Russian boat of some description, I'm guessing. Coming along nicely. Thank you for sharing that. I've got no idea. I'm not even going to guess what the scale is on that. Now, if you haven't seen this before, this is outstanding work from Lewis. Finally finished his World War II control tower diorama, which he made for the Crash Bomber Command group build, which finishes very soon. and that's all scratch built, and it's a really, really great effort. So well done, Lewis. I know we gave you a bit of ribbing yesterday, but you know, it's all meant in fun. But yeah, just amazing work. Well done, mate. And I do foresee a little bit of scratch building becoming something you do more often. I think, yeah, I think you can see and appreciate the similarity between that and PE, which you love. But yeah, cracking job, and the picture behind just sets it off. Yeah, really, really cool. Not many completed builds for that group build either. So yeah. Anyway, this is Mark Ewan. I finished this Fezda 135th T34 84 tank, and started the Tamiya 135th Classic Hammer Mat kit. That's now had pre-shade of white, painting the German grey maybe later today. So this is again another fine piece of work, and the weathering is done on it. I know he's not overly happy with it, if I'm honest, but there's nothing to be unhappy on that. That's just, I love it. Just brilliant. Really subtle in what you've done. It just looks a cracking build. I'm sure you all agree. Look at that. The tonal differences on that side there is just really, really cool. Really cool. I love it. And then, of course, we are on to the Hanamak. It's an old kit, 1970s kit, I believe, but one of the good sellers still. And it's not a bad kit. It's, you know, it has a few issues here and there, but it's not a bad kit at all. There you go. Very cool. I like that. Oh, there we go. Don Pedro's link is just there for his little group. Shows all his dioramas and stuff that he does. Well worth the look. Please go over and have a look. Go and support him. I know I will be later on today because I wasn't aware of it. So I apologise, Don, for not being there earlier, but I will be there today. Ross Medlock, been doing a few Warhammer Age of Sigma figures, sorry. And as usual, just outstanding. Really, really outstanding. These things are so tiny, and the bases that he's doing are just, yeah, beautiful. It does tempt me, I got to be honest, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. That's just mighty fine work, Ross. Really is. And a couple more pictures from Ross. Just outstanding. Bases blow me away. The dioramarist in me can't help myself except getting excited over a bit of grass. Yeah, brilliant work, Ross. Brilliant work. This is another figure. Wow. Wow, look at that. Oh, man. Love the leaves. Love how you've done that. I haven't skipped anything, have I? No. That's right. Just really cool. Really, really cool. And another one from Ross. Wow. Wow. Now I love that. That's really cool. I have no idea what that is. It's just brilliant. That's what would tempt me. Can't lie. Just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That reminds me, I must get my dragon finished. And the last one is Ross. That's very cool. Yeah. Brilliant. So thank you everyone for sharing your work. Yeah, amazing, Ross. I really yeah, I just don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Oh no. Right, so let's catch up with the chat, see where we were. Great first stream last night, Ross. Yes, indeed. I did jump in, but I didn't see an awful lot of it, so I didn't actually get too involved. So I do apologise, Ross, but I'm going to catch up with it later today, and all the feedback I got said that you did a really fantastic job. So well done. Black Rifle Models, Luke's in. Oh, good morning, Luke. How you doing, mate? You all right? Bit of controversy last night on the crash. I might have to try and persuade you to send me a sticker. I'll give you a shout. I hope you're well, mate. And yeah, great to see you about. Thanks for joining us. Ross saying good morning to Luke, as is Mark. And excuse me a second because I'm about to lose a screen. It solves that problem. Ross is tempting me. He's saying I can send you a couple of figures, James, to try. Mm-hmm. Quano Man, I'm going to just skip over that like I didn't read it. Quano Man is there saying good morning. Good morning, Quano Man. And he, Ross is saying I have a spare one of the Nighthawk if you want it. We might talk later. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole if I'm honest. But anyway, right, cool. So, as I said, 20, just kind of sort of 11:30. So we've skipped through everybody's work relatively quickly. So I hope I've paused enough time for everybody. So I apologize for a little bit of skipping there. But great work. Thank you so much for sharing. Without you, that part of this show would be pointless. So thank you very much for doing that. But let's go over to the desk. And we can catch up with exactly where we are with the Rumble in the Jungle, because that is what it's all about today. Rumble in the Jungle and the vegetation side of things. So, where have we got to? This is the base. The base has had primer, some work done on the rocks. I can't remember what we did last time, so I apologise. This is all styrofoam, obviously, and then we put some... much polish did we? No, we didn't. We used a mud effect, didn't we? Yeah, that's right. The colour of the mud was not quite what I wanted for where it was going to be based, so I've gone over it. I've dry brushed it with a little bit of a more reddy colour, and obviously our palm tree. All I've done this morning literally is I've just thrown a little bit of model colour. What colour was it? 834 natural wood. So I've just made it look a woody colour, but I'm going to come back to that in a minute, because obviously that's not a colour of the palm tree, is it? So we're going to throw a couple of extra dry brushing colours over that to try and tone it down and bring it into where we want it. Nelly is here. Nelly has just been primed. I put a little bit of grey over her yesterday because the way in which I think I'm going to paint it is slightly different to normal. And I don't know whether I'm going to get that done in today's show. I may well I want to get this figure done today. So if I don't do it in today's show, I will film it and I will put it up as an extra on the channel for you to watch, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing, I think, because straight brush painting for an Asian elephant, not African, Asian, it's just not going to work. So yeah, I'll keep that on my hat for the moment, but obviously Nelly is there. If I just go to the app of choice, make that a little bit fuzzy. So what we've done here is the stowage is now complete. As you can see, lots of different things going on it. We've used lots of different colors. All the colors I've used are model color colors, but there's literally, I've got paint everywhere. So I've got about 14, 15 colors bopping around on the desk. So I won't go through them all, but that's had it's all been painted. It's then had a gloss coat. We've gone over it with a little bit of panel line wash, and then I've matte coated it over the top. So it's all nice and sealed, sitting there waiting for Nelly. We have our figure, which is here. And as you can see, I've just started doing that. Quite a way to go. He's sitting there very uncomfortably, bless him. But it won't be for long. He'll be on Nelly soon. So yeah, I've started that. Hopefully, again, I'm going to try and get that finished today if I can. And then we can put all the bits and pieces together next week-ish. So before I go on to the actual foliage, I just want to make sure we're up to date with the Ross is setting me up. He's saying PM me your address, or if someone knows it, PM it to him. And I'm gonna purposely miss the comment that's there from Model Making Trucker, because we don't talk about those sort of things anymore, Lewis, you know. Lou's just saying, I missed the crash, what controversy? And he said stickers will not be a problem. Thanks very much, mate. I have a space, so yeah. And lastly, Quanaman saying, when you do the Asian flesh, add a little bit of olive to your palette. Yes. Yeah, I've been doing a bit of research into the colors of an elephant, and yeah, there's so many in there, it's ridiculous. So yeah, so we will do that at one stage. So anyway, as I said, today is about foliage. I'm conscious of time, so please bear with me. Obviously palm tree needs some leaves. So what have we got? We have got these are paper accessories you can buy. I've got these from Yen Models. Literally all I've done on this is I've just thrown a bit of primer onto them. The one thing I would say is when you've got leaves on paper, just be aware that obviously the paper gets wet, does get a bit out of hand sometimes, depending on what you've got. With these, what I've done is I've actually run a wire. Hopefully you can see that. He says, quickly reaching for the app that does the business. Yeah, so as you can see, we've got a wire that runs up the stem of our branch or leaf. And that gives it a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more chance to hold its form. Although, I will say, when you paint these, they do become quite rigid. So that's what we're going to be using for the palm tree, as well as something else, which we'll come to in a minute. Now, the other thing in which we are, sorry for the fact it's out of focus, but there is a reason, obviously. He says, wish I'd got this out of the bag. There is other foliage I'll be using. The same sort of thing. Again, it's paper. And obviously you've got different types of foliage. So now, foliage. You can get this in paper form. You can get this in photo etch form. And you can get it in a different type of form, which is like a clear plastic, which I just so happen to have to hand. It says these ones here. Now, as you can see, I won't take them out, but you can see they're just clear plastic. I'm going to do a review on these at some point, and I'll take them out and we'll give them a go. Now, I suspect that the way I'll do it is I probably will do the same thing. I'll put a little bit of wire on there, very thin wire, but might not need that, to be honest. But yeah, I can do a review on those. I've got a few different types here. These again come from Yen Models, reasonably priced. I can't remember how much these ones were particularly, but I know the paper ones were around about £6 to £9, I think, off the top of my head. So yeah, so you got the paper options. Now the other thing in which you could do, which I was busy talking to someone in a hangout, and we were talking about foliage and, you know, all the different options you have. And I suddenly remembered I got a book on that very same thing. So in that book, it suggests using a different product to make palm leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this mat for now. Move that from behind me, and then obviously we've got a nice blue surface. So yes, this is the other choice. Now, might seem a bit funny. This isn't from my feather boa, but it is literally just feathers. And obviously feathers come in different shapes and sizes. These ones I bought from Hobbycraft for about £1. And what I've done is I've mixed them up, or I've taken them all out of the bag, and I've put them in size into little plastic bags, so I know roughly what they are. So yeah, obviously they're quite fluffy at this point, straight out of the bag. That's what they're meant to be. But how you do it is really, really simple. So your best bet, we'll put that one to one side. Don't need two, do I? Put that over there. So your best bet, get a toothbrush, and literally all you do, coming away from the stem of the what is this? Feather. God, idiot. All you do is just brush away from the stem in the middle, like so. And all you're doing is you're trying to take the fluffy bit out. Yeah, that's all you're doing. Just do that. A nice brush, like so. Now, I was thinking about this yesterday, that as a palm tree leaf works quite well, but you can get smaller feathers. If you can get hold of smaller feathers, you can actually do all sorts of ferns and different bits and pieces. So, you know, and as you, I don't know if you can catch that, but, you know, it's literally only the little bits of fluff you're taking out. So you take that out, then with your fingers, give it a little bit of a pull, and all you're doing, as I said, you're not trying to pull out the main parts of the feathers. All you're doing is just trying to pull that fluff out, because you don't want it. It creates issues. Now, the problem with this, it will make a mess. You will have bits of fluff everywhere, trust me. So I'm just going to pull a little bit off the stem, off the bottom, like so. And then what you do is you make sure you put that away. So then once you've got to this point, what you can do is then grab a big pair of scissors and put some form into it. So what you do is just literally cut around your feather, bring it to a point, turn it over the other way. And again, you're just cutting off that excess like that. Okay. So as you can see, as I cut it, you're still pulling out bits of fluff. But these little extra bits and pieces, hold on to them. Don't necessarily throw them straight in the bin, although I am, because I don't need them, but you can use them for other bits. Now, what I'd hoped to do, which I haven't done, is I think these would be quite easy to dye. So if you get yourself some ink, place these in some ink, let them soak overnight, and then pull them out and let them drip dry back into your inks, so you're not wasting anything. And I think that should dye relatively easy. What I did is I actually sprayed some primer on it to start with, which, if I'm honest, a bit of a nightmare because obviously it all sticks together. So using the toothbrush again, once you've done a bit of primer, let it start to dry, and then literally just re-brush your feather out like so. Yeah, if you can imagine, I've primed that. You can then leave that for a little bit, and then what I found was you've got two options. You can either then apply different colors by airbrush, or you can use just a normal dry brushing sort of technique. All right, so what I'll do, he says, make some room. I'll show you the finished effects. So now these are the finished leaves that I've done, palm leaves. And to give you some sort of idea, they're the difference between the two. So yeah, paper ones are a little bit more stark. However, if you look at a palm tree, the palm tree does start to wilt, lose shape, the leaves start to disintegrate. So a mixture of the two would look pretty good. Or if you just want to go with a cheaper option, go with a cheaper option. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, whichever you feel more comfortable with. Definitely worth the effort. And Quanaman has just, I've just noticed Quanaman's made a comment there. When you deal with paper, you should lacquer it first. Well, there you go. There's a top tip. I didn't know that. Not something I've used before. So yeah, so I actually quite like the feather effect. I can see it being certainly useful in different areas, but yeah, like I say, if you can get the smaller feathers, you can certainly do smaller ferns and all that sort of stuff. So if you've got a chicken farm next to you, go and ask them if you can nick some feathers, but don't do it straight off the chicken, obviously, because that would be wrong. So there you go. So that's our foliage for our palm tree. But before we get onto that, before we get onto actually attaching it, I'm going to put that over there to one side. I want to address the actual tree itself. So put the right equipment on so I can see what I'm doing. Luke's just saying it's a top tip. Yeah, it's a brilliant little tip. Works really well. He's got off to find a chicken. Dear, yeah. So yeah, and Quanaman's just saying there, before the palms turn brown, they turn yellow at the tips. Yes, that's absolutely right. So if you look at a picture of a palm tree, they've got a lot of different colors going on them. But anyway, right. So let's get to the trunk. So what I've done, as I said, I've just given this a wood effect color. What I will be doing is a little bit of dry brushing of some description, hopefully, if it all works. So let me move these ones out of the way. There we go. So what I'm going to do is we've got our wood color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run over it with a little bit of burnt umber. He's got on the palette just beside him. And all I really are trying to do is I just want to throw a little bit. Oh, it's a bit too wet now, silly Billy. Just a little bit of dry brushing. Now, I'm not going to, what I'm hoping to achieve is it's not going to be a full paint. I'm just going to try and leave some of that yellow coming through. Because what we'll do is we'll go over this colour with a third colour and hopefully bring it all together. So bear with me while I've got my tongue out and I'm busy doing this. Now hopefully what we'll end up with is a 3-tone trunk, of which when we come to the final stage, we'll throw some washes down it to bring out where I've done the wire on our trunk to give us the different surfaces. Always worry about time. Now obviously I've attached this to the base. Ooh, a bit too much. My advice would be don't do that, because you've got more control at getting at the angles. And hopefully this is all in shot and in focus, because I am, as I say, conscious of time. Now, as you can see on the top part here, I've actually re-drilled the holes for our branches, because I have done a bit of a test fitting to sort of try and figure out whether I'm going in the right direction. But as you can see, there's a little bit of brown, a little bit of the wood coming through. And then what we're going to do is I'm then going to go with a little bit of a light grey. Actually, let me use a different brush. Come on, Nelly, out of the way. I've gone a little bit too light here, maybe. Yeah, I think I have. I've got too much paint on there as well. That's right. Hopefully we can tie it all in together as we go. And bear in mind, this is the first time I've done a palm tree of any description. It's all part of a learning curve. And the good thing is we can, because I'm doing it the way I am, showing you guys, I can always come back at this at a later stage with a little bit more finesse if necessary. And of course, the other thing I didn't do is I didn't do a practice palm tree, because what would you do a practice one for? That would be too logical, right? Way too logical. But you get the idea of what I'm trying to achieve anyway. So what we'll do is I'm going to grab a darker grey and hopefully not completely muck it up. Yeah, I'm not super happy with what I'm achieving here, to be honest. So I'm going to have to go over this later, but that's all right. So talk amongst yourselves, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, what have you got on the desk today? What are you hoping to achieve? Have you got anything planned? Any current builds that need a bit more progress? Are you spending some time with the family? Because obviously it's Father's Day today, so happy Father's Day to any fathers. All right, so you can see that's roughly where we're at. Now, the top part, I'm going to use a mixture of the burnt umber and the dark grey. And I'm going to, because this is one area where I'm not going to be able to get to later. And it's sort of dry brushing, sort of not. But so we're going for like a really dark brown. Top here, obviously going to have some coconuts later. Nice and easy. Please tell me you can see all this, because it would be quite annoying if you can't. I might run a little bit of that down the trunk as well. Missed a bit there. Bring that over. There we go. So that is our palm tree sorted. Clean that later. Bear with me. So just looking at the chat. Ross is just asking a question there in relation to the paper aircraft, lacquering the paper. That would probably be a good idea. So yes, I would say yes to that. He used to be a painter for Grenadier models. Ah, okay, cool. Now I know who to ask when I'm stuck. Malcolm Charles is there saying happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Indeed. Happy full and laid back to you too. Happy Father's Day to you all too, and to everybody else. May you enjoy the time with your fathers. Yeah, absolutely. And he said next time try stippling. Yes, yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Sorry, Luke is asking me about the brushes that I was using. These brushes here. They're good brushes. They're good brushes. They're a lot of money, if I'm honest, but they are good. I do like them. And Luke's just saying, planning my next 4K diorama and working on the Academy Warrior for the British GB for Models for Heroes. And Chrono Man has given me directions as to paint it. Add a bit of yellow to your grey. Yes. Okay, I will. Let's do that now. Bit of that. Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely, you're spot on there. Oh. Oh, come on. Stop rushing, James. My paintbrush is too wet. That's what I love about this community. We all work together. We all find the answers that we need. You know, this is a journey of my model making. This is not me telling you this is the only way to do it, because there are other ways. Yeah, that looks a lot better actually. Thank you, Quano. Right, cool. So just clean my fingers. I'll leave that for a minute or two because there's a bit of other stuff I want to get done. Clean that in a minute, get that out of the way. So what I'm going to do next is I want to put a little bit of scatter on our, oh, I've got two balls of that now. Scatter on the diorama. And of course I am not prepared as usual. I must improve my bust. Right, so it isn't the best way of doing it, but this is the way I'm going to do it. So what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of scatter on here. And this isn't going to work, is it, the way I'm doing it? Just going to put some PVA glue in there, like so. I should have watered this down actually, shouldn't I? Oh, you silly sausage. Getting in a fluster. Calm yourself down. Yeah, Luke's just saying there that the brushes that I was using, the Artist Opus brushes, the best is used. Yeah, I totally agree with you. They are brilliant, but they are pricey. Very, very pricey. And I'm still learning how to use them, to be honest. I haven't quite mastered it yet, Luke. I've got to be honest. I'm wishing I was a bit more prepared. Yeah, I haven't quite mastered it yet. That's without a doubt. But yeah, they are brilliant. I love them. So all I've done is I've just watered down my PVA glue a little bit here. And what we're going to try and do, hopefully, I'm going to try and add some scatter to that in a second. Where it's gone, there it is. And of course, I'm not prepared. I'm not ready. So bear with me a second, chaps. Obviously got my little machine that I use. And we've got just off to the side here, out of shot, I've got myself a little bit of can't remember how long it is now. The longest bit of grass stuff that I've got, which is that there. Static grass, 6mm. And what we're going to do, hopefully without making too much of a mess, he says, because you always make mess with this really though, right? Is I just want to throw a little bit of this in. Into where it all goes terribly wrong. Oh, ow. And that's going really badly wrong. Stress. That's gone really badly wrong. That's okay. We'll do it a different way then. In that case, what we'll do is we're going to do it the John way. Put it in by hand into the glue. And this is where I get all worried and upset because it isn't going how I want it to go. Yeah, it's going really badly wrong. I don't like that at all. Well, there you go. You can see that I've made a mistake. I'm not going to hide it because I'm running out of time anyway. But what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and get some static grass to sit up on this surface. And I'm going to leave that for now because I'm going to struggle otherwise. So you can see what I'm trying to achieve. But what we will do is I will head over to our palm tree. And I'm cross now. Don't like it when things go wrong. So we're going to head over to the palm tree. We are going to do our leaves. So we've got a multitude of leaves, which we'll bring over in their different guises. And we'll get them put onto the tree in position where we want them. So we're going to start with, where did that go? Let's start with this one. Now hopefully I can remember the order in which they went into, otherwise I'll be quite cross with myself. That's one. That's two. Now because I've used the wire, I need to trim back the paper. So that sits properly. So hopefully you can see there the difference in the, we've got two feathers and we've got our paper one in the middle there. Scissors. Like so. It doesn't feel like that's got enough glue on it. So we just take a bit more glue on that. But it just goes to show you, you know, I'm very grateful. A lot of people give a lot of compliments about what I do, but it just shows you even somebody like myself can make mistakes, and we shouldn't hide those, should we? Really? Put that up there. Put that one. I don't want that one. I think it's that one. No, that one. It's the one that I started with. Right, cool. So we'll do that. One, no, what one is it? Oh yeah, rat bags. I can't remember where they all go. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that one goes in there. Like so. Yep. Talk about yourselves. Sorry. So yeah, so I'm going to run out of time, unfortunately, today. But it's good because it'll give me a chance to sort out the grass, which has annoyed me quite a lot. Now I should have, hopefully, space for a couple more. I think was, where's that gone? I've lost my holes. Yeah. Right, that one there. So, last but no means least, I think that goes in there, doesn't it? In there. So there you go. That's our finished palm tree with a mixture of feathers and paper leaves. So what have I got to do to this next is I'm going to have to make some little coconuts up, which I'm going to put underneath. Now, I was saying earlier about your trimmings, and if you can see that there, basically I painted a feather brown, cut off the bits that I didn't need, and it's given me a few hairy bits, for another bit, another way of putting it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that as something to stick around my nuts, because often you'll find that there are very fine bits that come off. So yeah, there you go. That's that. That's good. That's done. The grass is a failure. I'm not happy with that, but I'm going to sort that out later. The other thing in which I would say to you as a top tip, if you want to make some long grass, get yourself a pasting brush and just paint it green. And then you can cut it off to the length you want. You can pick these up in a pound shop, really cheap. So give that a go. Quick look at the chat, and we're not far off from wrapping it up, if I'm honest. We're joined by the Colin's there saying good morning. Oh, have I missed something? Oh yeah, it's jumped quite a lot. Sorry about that. Don Pedro is saying it's looking good, mate. Loving all the hearts. Royalties due. Thank you very much. Quantum just saying that every day you learn something. If you keep that knowledge, that's up to you, unless you get old and then you forget it. There you go. He's just talking about the brushes there, saying it took me a while to understand why he moistens the bristles for dry brushing. Watched tons of videos and finally think I get it. Yeah, it does take a little bit of practice. I haven't practiced that much. Connor's just saying there, been testing my broken toads this week. Very nice, cool. So it's another variant. Just going through the chat. Working the grass with tree, James. Yes, I am. Ross Medlock saying morning to Colin. Obviously, Colin is being said good morning to you, but everyone else. Colin's just saying, don't worry about the time, James. No, I know that, Colin. But yeah, whenever you're doing stuff like this, it's always good to remember. Obviously, I'm filming it, but if you are not filming it, it's always good to remember. Take your time. Don't worry about it. Don't rush it. And if something's not working, walk away from it. You can always clean it up and figure it out. It's not a big problem. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do at some point. Definitely. Yes, I'm really not happy with this static grass. That's not worked how I envisaged at all. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up taking all that off and go down a slightly different route. I probably will use this grass and I will just paint a little bit more up and cut it shorter to get what I want. So it's all good, not a problem. Right, so the other thing in which I've got here as well are these little plants in which I hope they work out well. So I've painted these all up previously, but obviously you need to stick them all together, make a hole in the base and make them stand in the correct fashion. I'm not going to put myself under pressure to do that right now. But yeah, I will do that and I'll keep it updated. Purely because I'm cross and I don't want to rush it unnecessarily. So I'm going to stop for now. Like I say, the leaves, top tip, use feathers. I think you'll agree the feathers look just as good, if not a little bit better, because they've got the fading going on the edges, which is always clever. So yeah, there we go. Right, so no one's actually said during the stream what they're up to today. 16 people watching. I am going to wrap it up there purely because I'm getting a little frustrated and I don't want to make myself look like a plank, for want of a better phrase. So yeah, so that's the diorama. Obviously Nellie's going to sit on there like so. And I think you'll find, I think you'll agree that's going to look quite nice when it's done. So what I'll do is I will paint Nelly, but I'll do this as a separate video. And I think probably what I'll do while I'm doing that, I'll do a little bit more on the base to show how I've done the grass. Because what I want to do basically is I just want a little bit of grass vegetation around here and around here, to give it the effect that it's jungle coming down a hill in a jungle. The other thing I will be adding at some point is a bit of water effects here as well. I haven't quite worked out how I'm going to do that, but yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to go away and fiddle with that all afternoon and try not to throw it at the wall or myself at the wall. Thank you so much for watching so far. Remember, there's Festa's show on in 15 minutes. So head over to the Festa's workshop. And quickly looking down the chat. Kieran's just talking about brushes there. It's a good idea. He's got some brush heads. Yeah, it's a really good idea. You can buy this literally in a round pot, but it's exactly the same stuff. So get yourself a pound pasting brush and cut it to your heart's content. But what I would say is, rather than cut it all off, paint it, cut it all off, leave it like that, because you can just literally pull clumps off. It's really, really easy to pull clumps off. So yeah, cool. Mark's just saying there, thank you for the top tips. Hope it works. Give it a go. Kieran's just saying, looks awesome. Thank you very much. Dave said he's weathering his diorama today. Okay. And Ross Medlock is just saying, there's just a reminder, someone PM me James's address. Oh, you stirrer. Remember the thumbs up. If you don't like what you're doing, put a thumbs down if you want, not a problem. But give me the courtesy of telling me why you didn't like it. And just remember, the effort it takes you to do that is the same as doing that. And the results for me are the same. So if you want me to get better, and obviously I do need to, because I've made a few errors today in what I'm showing. My fault, not a problem, but it's good to show errors. That's okay. Yeah, if you want the content to be better, let me know. And I'll speak to you all next week. I believe there will be a show next week. I hesitate because I'm not 100% sure, but keep your eyes peeled. And if I don't see you next week, I'll see you the week after. But if not, I'll see you around in other people's chats and stuff. So until next time, take care. Thanks for bearing with me.